that is connected to Al-Iman bin Yawm al-Akhir. Concerning the signs of the hour being established, وَقَدْ جَاءَتْ أَشْرَاطُهَا, concerning these signs, then we should know, as I think most people know, there are two categories of signs of Yawm al-Akhir. The first category are the minor signs. And being described as the minor signs, it doesn't mean that they're minor in their fitna and corruption. It doesn't mean that. It means in comparison to the major signs, they're minor. Like a shirk al-asghar. A shirk al-asghar, showing off, riyah. A minor doesn't mean that it's not significant. Doesn't mean that at all. It means compared to a shirk al-akbar, it's less in degree, because a shirk al-akbar would take you outside of the religion and cause you to remain in the hellfire forever, and you'll never come out. But a shirk al-asghar is still a big thing, still a big thing. So there are many minor signs. Many of them have passed, and many of them we're experiencing them today. Scholars of Islam said that the very first sign of Yawm al-Akhir is the fact that Allah sent the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He told the people in authentic hadith, "Bu'ithtu bayna yaday sa'a kahatain." I have been sent close to the hour, and he put his fingers like this. So they said he was the first minor sign, and he came in order to tell people, hey, get ready. The fact that he came out, he told the people, get ready. Yawm al-Qiyamah is right around the corner. Although you may see it as being far, it's right around the corner. And there are many. We mentioned the one today, that Al-Islam is going to be taken up. The Quran is going to be taken up. Islam is going to be forgotten about. The Nabi said about shirk, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, la taqumu sa'a hatta tattariba al-yad nisa daws hawl dhil khalisa. The hour will not be established until some women from the tribe of Dos, a Dos tribe from the Arabian Gulf. Yawm al-Qiyamah won't be established until those women go to an idol that was known by their people in Jahiliyyah, and they're going to be shaking their hips at that idol. Shaking their hips at that idol. The scholar says shaking their hips can mean one or two things. It can mean when they're riding their animals, the natural movement of the animal causes their hips to go back and forth, or they're going to be making tawaf around that idol. That's a major issue. It's a big issue, but it's not from the major signs. And there are many. There are many. Point is, there's a distinction. As for the major signs, then there are 10. From those major signs, collectively, many things have been spoken about. Like, once the first one comes, the second is going to come soon after. The third one is going to come 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The same way if you had a necklace with beads on it and you severed or cut the string, the way they fall off one after another in quick succession. And that hadith that I told you about, the Nabi, he told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, know that Yawm al-Qiyamah won't be established until you see 10 things. So he mentioned those major signs. Pay attention to this, because one of them is absent. And again, you may come to the authentic hadith where one of them is absent. And then the person says, you see, this is why I'm from the Qur'aniyin. Because why is this 10th one not there? So it must be 11. Why is it not there? He said that the major signs were the dabba, the big animal. He said that the major sign was the dukhan, the smoke that's going to come. He said that the sun rising from the west and setting in the east. He said from the major signs is that there will be a fire that will come from Yemen, and it will drive the people to the mahshar, Yawm al-Qiyamah. He said from the major signs is that there are going to be 3 earthquakes. One earthquake in the east from Al-Medina, the west from Al-Medina, and an earthquake in the Arabian Peninsula. He said another major sign is Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Number 9, the coming down of Isa ibn Maryam. And number 10, the Dajjal. So one of them missing. One was not mentioned. Anybody want to tell me which one was not mentioned? The Mahdi was not mentioned in this particular hadith. This hadith is sahih. It's inside al-Bukhari. So why wasn't it mentioned? The scholars, ikhwani, they come up with plausible explanations. They come up with plausible explanations. Sometimes a scholar may give an explanation that you can agree with it, or you may not agree with it because it may not make sense, or it may go against some other aspect of al-Islam. But usually, you're going to find someone or some people from the ulama of al-Islam that give an explanation that's acceptable. And the explanation that they gave, like Al-Imam Ibn al-Hajar al-Asqalani rahimahullah ta'ala, is the Mahdi wasn't mentioned with these 10 because when he's coming, he's going to be with Isa ibn Maryam, so the two of them are together, as if they are one. And there are enough hadith telling us the details of the Mahdi for an individual not to be arrogant and to reject it altogether. So from the major signs is Ad-Dajjal. Ad-Dajjal. Concerning the issue of Ad-Dajjal, ikhwani fillah, the goal and the objective of learning about this issue is not for the sole purpose of just gathering information. Just going to gather information and that's it. Ad-Dajjal, and other than the Dajjal, the goal and the objective is to beware, to know what you're doing, to know what not to do, to equip yourself to be able to deal with it. It's designed to make tawbah, to get ready. It's not just about collecting information. And we know this from the instruction of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He told the people, Badiru bil a'mal sittan. Hurry up and take advantage and do the good deeds before 6 things happen. From those 6 things he mentioned, the sun rising from the west, the dukhan or the smoke coming, the animal or the dab of the earth coming, and Ad-Dajjal. Those 4 from the major signs in this particular hadith. And he mentioned as well, take advantage of 6. He mentioned 2 things. Your personal death. Hurry up and take advantage by doing the good deeds before you die. Number 5. And number 6, take advantage of doing good deeds before the Yawmul Qiyamah is established. So the goal and the objective is hurry up and do the good works. Hurry up and do the good deeds. That's the goal. That's the objective. To develop within ourselves a fear of the fitna and an awareness that we have to protect ourselves. You get married to my daughter, I want you to have in your mind that you have a responsibility to be a shield for her against the Dajjal. That's part of the man wanting to get married. The ayat of the Quran said, Antum libasun lahunna wa hunna libasun lakum. You are a clothing for your wives, and your wives are a clothing for you. One of the things that your clothes do is it protects you from the elements, from the cold, from the heat, from the wind, from the rain. So you have to protect your family, your wife. You have to protect her from those issues that are going to compromise her Islam. And one of the things that's going to happen is the majority of the people who are in the hellfire are women. The most ignorant people of the ummah are women. And that's for many, many reasons, many reasons, many reasons. Sometimes because the Muslims are on the cultural way of al-Islam, so we don't make facilities for them to come to learn. Another reason is because just the general way that women's lives are, they're in the house and they're taking care of the issues in the house. They don't come to the masjid. They don't have the opportunities that are afforded to the men. And as a result of that, they don't know. So the point here is the goal and the objective of learning everything in al-Islam, especially issues like this, is to do something about it. When you learn it, to do something about it. Badiru bil a'mal fitnan khalil muslim. Hurry up and do the good deeds before the time comes when there is a fitna like the dark night. You won't be able to see in front of your hand, meaning you won't have the ability to determine where the truth is and where the falsehood is. And Dajjal is going to be the master at that. All of the 9 other Ashratu Sa'ah, all of them, all 9 of them, they encourage people to believe in Allah. When the sun comes up from the west, everybody is going to say, La ilaha illallah. President of America, the president of the UK, president of France, Spain, Everybody is going to say La ilaha illallah, because clearly when the sun comes up from the west, the people are going to know this is something beyond our control. This is something special. But when that happens, al-Iman won't be accepted. Dajjal is the only fitna that encourages people to disbelieve in Allah. He's the only one that when he comes, he's going to encourage people to disbelieve in Allah. Now, there's a really important point that, inshallah, I really hope you brothers understand this point, because it is a lesson for the duration of your life. And that is, we have to know that Allah Azza wa Jalla is al-Hakim. He is the one who has hikmah, and al-Hikmah is putting things in the proper place. Allah knows why he sent the Dajjal with this issue. He knows. So the Muslim can't sit and start to ask, why did Allah do that? And he asks in a way to say, this doesn't make sense, that Allah will send something or someone to take me off of the square, to cause me to disbelieve in him. So therefore, ultimately, Allah is responsible for the kufr and the shirk of the people. La, that's not the case. So with Dajjal, when he comes, he's going to encourage the people to leave the religion in many ways, in many ways. One of the ways that he's going to cause the people to disbelieve in Allah is that Allah Azza wa Jalla will give the Dajjal the ability. He will give the Dajjal the ability to take on the image of a person's mother and his father if both of them are dead. Both of them, he'll have that ability to come in front of a person in the form of his mother and his father. A Dajjal is a male, but he'll be given the ability to present himself in the form of a lady. If one of the two parents are dead, he'll come in that image. And those two parents will say to the son, Ya bunay ittabi'hu, fa'innahu rabbak. Follow him. He is your Lord. Now just imagine, you love your mother, you love your father, they've been dead for such a long time. When someone mentions them, especially if they die recently, the hurt of their death still affects you. Now you get an opportunity to see their image right in front of you, and they're telling you as a sign, and you're an individual who every time you make istikhara, you're one of those people, you have to see a dream. There's some people who, they will swear you're trying to do evil to them because they saw it in a dream. They don't know, man, that's just a dream. May be true, may not be true. You can't put a lot of emphasis on the dream. It may be true, may not be true. The individual, he doesn't know about the ahkam of al-maut. There are ahkam connected to death. Ahkam that are basic and fundamental. Basic and fundamental. That if the Muslim knew some of those ahkam, the knowledge of those ahkam will let him know, my mother and my father coming back to life, this is Dajjal, this is a trick. This is a trick. He knows the hadith of Jabir ibn Abdullah. His father, radiallahu anhu, Abdullah ibn Haram, was killed in the battle of Badr. After he was killed, the son was extremely sad. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Jabir, what's the matter? He said, Ya Rasulullah, my father died. My father, I lost my father. I'm responsible for 10 sisters now. And I was close to my father. Allah Ta'ala's Nabi said, Ya Jabir, you want to know what Allah said to your father? He said, no. Allah told your father, Ya Abdi Tamanni, hey, my slave, wish for whatever you want to wish for me. Ask whatever you want. Ask. Jabir's father said, Ya Allah, I was killed fi sabilillah, real fi sabilillah. Give me an opportunity to go back to the dunya so I can be killed again. He said, give me an opportunity to go back to the dunya so that I can be killed again because of what Allah has prepared for the shuhada. Allah said to Jabir's father, don't you know that if someone leaves the dunya, once he dies in the dunya, once he dies, his death is done, he's finished, he's not going back. That's a rule in al-Islam. That's from the ahkam of al-Islam, of a maut. Once a person dies, he's not going back. But the man said, then let the people know, my son and the rest of the companions. I'm asking you, my Lord, let them know what you've prepared for those people who got killed fi sabilillah. So the ayat was revealed, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءُ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. Don't think that those people who were killed in the cause of Allah are dead, but instead they are being provided for by their Lord. So the shahid of that kalam, ikhwani, point of that kalam is, from the ahkam of al-maut is that no one lives forever. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not here. Khidr is not here. Allah didn't give perpetual life to any individual. Knowing basics of our religion will protect you from a Dajjal and protect you from other issues that people fall into. Concerning the Dajjal that the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wa ala alihi wasallam, as we mentioned, being able to come back in the form of a man or woman after they have died. We don't call that ability a mu'jiza or a miracle. And we don't call that a karama from the karamat. A mu'jiza, a miracle, is something that Allah gives to the prophets and the messengers. A prophet and the messenger. The Quran is the mu'jiza of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The clouds hovering over his head and protecting him from the sun is a mu'jiza. The fact that the food used to make the dhikr of Allah when he was eating it is a mu'jiza. Opening up his fingers and water coming out is a mu'jiza. Musa touching the Red Sea and is splitting open. Isa allowing the life to be given to the dead. All of those are mu'jizat for the Anbiya and the Rasul. Salawatullah wassalamu alayhim. As for the awliya of Allah, the religious people, they have been given karamat. Person makes dua, regular person, Amr Bakr Zayd Sharifa makes dua and they get that dua. An individual does something special and they get that particular thing. Allah Ta'ala allows that to happen, giving them his ihsan and his fadl. As for the Dajjal, he doesn't have mu'jizat and he doesn't have karamat. He has what the scholars call the khawariq. The khawariq. Those extraordinary things that any evil person can have. Magician, any evil person can have it. And he'll have that. 3 years before he comes, the people are going to be in dire straits. It's going to be serious drought all over the place, no rain, crops are going to die, and the animals are going to die, and the animals that live won't deliver any babies. When he comes, those people who believe in him, they're going to get water. Those people who believe in him and take him as their Lord, their animals are going to become fat and opulent and they're going to have babies. Those people who believe in him, their crops are going to grow. They're going to get money left, right, and center. And those people who disbelieve in him are going to have trouble. Their dunya is going to suffer. Their crops will continue to be messed up. They will continue not to get water. Their animals will continue to die. So the fact that an individual who is practicing the religion has to go through some heat and he has to go through problems isn't a sign or an indication always that what he's doing is the wrong thing. And the people who are disbelievers or evildoers being given this or being given that, it's not a sign or indication that the haqq is with them. That's not the case. So those are some of the many khawariq that he's been given, and we're going to deal with some more, inshallah azza wa jal, in our next class. Concerning the Dajjal, the Prophet said about him, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, ma bayna khalqi Adam ila qiyam as-sa'a khalqun akbaru min ad-Dajjal. There is, since the time that Adam was created, from the time that Adam was created, and when he was created, he was in the Jannah, before he even came to the earth. From the time of Adam's creation until Yawm al-Qiyamah, there's no fitna bigger than the Dajjal. So he's the biggest fitna known to Bani Adam, and as a result of that, all of the prophets warned against him. And our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned against him with details, as you're going to see, inshallah azza wa jal. So who is this Dajjal? Who is he? In our religion, ikhwani, our religion explains everything. As I told you, nothing has been left for you to guess. It has just been left for you to come to learn about it. وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبْيَانًا